Part of me really thinks that A.J. Brown might just be effing with us. Maybe that's just some sort of wish fulfillment, because I like to believe if I had hundreds of thousands of people hanging on my every word or tweet or decision not to speak, that I would just have to screw with them because it would be funny. And that's what I really believe might be going on with A.J. Brown. Perhaps he's realized since arriving in April of 2022 that we're really only happy when we're mad or worried. Now, sure, we love to celebrate. We love to celebrate conference and Super Bowl championships. Parade day is great, but those are outlier days, a culmination of everything we've been through. The general tenor of this team, of the fans of this team, is looking for reasons why the sky might be falling. And look, the Eagles, they are 20-1 in the last calendar year. Maybe they just have to entertain themselves. Maybe they are providing us, manufacturing the nonsense we need to keep us happy, because both us and them are kind of bored. The Eagles never lose. The league is clearly too easy for them, and they're entertaining themselves by firing us up. I'd like to believe that that's the case. Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia live in the Xfinity Lounge. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me, my producer today, is the one and only Tyler Zulli. Tyler, I got to tell you, I am getting real excited for postgame on Saturday. Watching a little baseball last night. Ooh, playoff baseball. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, not only does playoff baseball hit different, but like when your team is comfortably just waiting for their opponent. Yesterday was, I spent like the first 20 minutes of the Philly show today basically saying how much I love Garrett Crochet and Tarek Skubal, because it was so much fun yesterday. I mean, and you and I think it's me, you, and Pat Egan perhaps
yes,
are going to do Saturday postgame together. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, assuming they win on Saturday, we'll have a lot of fun celebrating. If they don't, we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you, I'm not a baseball fan. I am a Phillies fan. I will watch as many Phillies games as I can all season, and I will watch as few out-of-town games as humanly possible, quite honestly. And then the Major League Baseball playoffs start, and I guess this is how like casual hockey fans feel. Like, yeah, that regular season's going on, good for them. And then the playoffs come on, and suddenly, like, the monotony of baseball is actually the most tense thing in the world.
As the resident casual hockey fan, you are 100% correct. The minute that the postseason comes around, I can't get enough playoff hockey. But I am a Flyers fan. I don't necessarily think I'm an NHL fan, but as soon as the playoffs come around, I'm like, dude, Barkov's got 6 points in 8 games. It's great.
Let's go. Yeah, so make sure you join us on Saturday for Phillies postgame. Looks like they're going to be in some sort of 6 o'clock time slot, depending on the opponent, 6:08, 6:38, but 6 p.m. time slot looks like where the Phils are going to be. And with that, let's hit some headlines. Well, they did it. The Dodgers take game 1. The hope for a quick upset by the Cincinnati Reds is over, and my main takeaway from that game is, damn, the Dodgers are pretty good. Listen, now, like I just said, maybe I don't watch a ton of out-of-town games, but we all know how freaking good the Dodgers are. That goes without saying. But I don't know if I fear them. They're really good. Sure, it's going to be a tough series, 5 short games, but I'm feeling good, even if it is this Dodgers team that was a super team just a year ago.
It's funny. I spent the whole week of Super Bowl week thinking about ways that the Chiefs were going to find a way to win the Super Bowl. And as I got closer and closer, I went, oh, wait. The Eagles are the better team. What am I doing? Like, the Eagles are going to win this game. Now, I didn't think they were going to win by, what felt like 1 million, but my mind shifted. As we are getting closer to the inevitability of a Dodgers series, I'm getting more concerned. It's the opposite of what I felt in the Super Bowl. I'm getting more concerned, especially if they win tonight and they have the capacity to go, Shohei back to Snell to Yamamoto. This is going to, if the Phillies win this series, they are going to earn this series win in the NLDS.
100%. We talked yesterday over at Bet Parks. They're the co-favorites, the Phils and Dodgers. And listen, the Dodgers still have to win another game. I would assume they are heavy favorites. It's not in stone yet, but it feels as if LA is going to be able to put this thing away. And I'm really looking forward to it, Quentin. Maybe because the 2 best years of going to playoff baseball games of my life, they ran into the Dodgers in the NLCS, and it was all rosy. So maybe it's colored by that, but I think the Phils match up well with the Dodgers. We've seen them struggle with Milwaukee a little bit. We've seen them struggle with bad teams, but against playoff teams, for the most part, and the Dodgers especially, they've been pretty good. I like the Phils' chances, and I am just getting excited for what could be over the next month.
Well, and don't get me wrong, you should feel confident. This is a 96-win team that has a really good top 3 in the starting rotation, and you've seen their offense. They've stretched out further. Bader's been great. Marsh has been great. Kepler's played well. The top of the lineup is very, very good. I'm not sitting here telling you I don't think the Phillies can win this series. I absolutely do. I'm just getting this gross pit in my gut feeling as the series gets a little bit closer.
All right, next headline. Broncos Sean Payton. Broncos head coach Sean Payton defends the Tush Push, says the play is amongst the safest in the league. And he goes on, has a whole quote, and he talks about the meetings that they have around the league when they were trying to ban it and the votes and everything. He says, I've been involved in these meetings for a long time, and when all of a sudden health and safety was pulled into that, which it might be the safest play in football, my BS nose kind of went up. Kudos to Sean Payton for not being a dork. Absolutely, that is the headline here. Sean Payton, at least he's not a dork. But 2, we look at the Eagles' supposed problems, and, you know what I don't see? It's Nick Sirianni cowering down to other teams, their opponents, their coaches, and going, yeah, man, that thing, I'm distancing myself from everybody who had to try to ban it. Please don't kill us with your signature play, even though I think it's so safe and good, and you're just so wonderful. I don't see Sirianni doing that, damn it. And that just reminds me, things could be a whole lot worse. But seriously, despite my years-long parasocial grudge against, this is a one-way feud, 100%, against Sean Payton, I gotta say kudos. Not a dork. He at least isn't coming, the Tush Push is dangerous, it's not a football play. At least we're not hearing that from a guy who's pretty well respected, I would say. Final headline, this is just one of those beautiful Philadelphia moments. The Phillies have sold 29,500 tickets for Wednesday's, I guess that's today, the intra-squad game that they are going to play Phillies v. Phillies at Citizens Bank Park as a little warm-up while they await their opponent in the NLDS. And this is just, I can't say how funny this is to me. Now, we all know Philly shows up. That is every road game for the Birds, anytime the Phils have a big series, we know Philly shows up. But this is essentially live BP that they are going to be having. And the attendance for this game, in terms of tickets sold, it's more than half the league average, Tyler. And it's, 20,000 more tickets sold than the Athletics averaged in all of their home games. 20,000.
Well, I will say, to defend the A's a little bit, they were playing in a minor league park. But I will say this, I talked about this on the Philly show a little bit too. I'm glad you brought it up. The Guardians-Tigers game 1 of the wild card yesterday sold just about 29,000 tickets. Phillies fans bought $30,000 or 30,000 tickets worth of practice
We're
game
talking
tickets.
about practice. It is really beautiful, and it just reminds me of the words.
This city.
It reminds me of the words of Winston Zeddemore at the end of the original Ghostbusters. I love this town. All right, there it is. Yes, we got the gift to play. We didn't know if we could do it. All right, I want to talk some more birds on the other side. We absolutely, I guess, have to get to this A.J. Brown thing and treat it seriously, I guess. But first, we have to take our first commercial break. Listen, we've all been there. You're trying to power through your weekend plans with a nagging injury or just some stubborn pain. But when rest just isn't cutting it, when you're just not able to quite push through it, it's time to call the experts. And that's why we trust Rothman Orthopedics. Whether you're running in the park, playing a pickup game, or just lifting the kids, Rothman specialists are here to treat what's holding you back. They've got top-tier care, and it'll have you moving and enjoying every minute of your fun time. If pain is slowing you down this season, take the first step. Head to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and schedule your appointment today. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, their mission.
Another day of getting a chance to watch a full slate of baseball, but that also means we're one day closer to football, college, and pro. And if you call yourself a football fan, you have to get Xfinity because you don't want lagging and buffering and switching between apps trying to find the game. It is the ultimate sports destination where you can find all the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way that you watch becomes next level. It's the perfect fan flex for all of the action right in your living room. Plus, Xfinity gives you an incredible optics and sound quality with 4K enhanced sound. It's going to feel like you're at the ballpark anyway, so you do it from your house. It's a great combination of getting to chill and watching the game in the perfect setup. Sometimes you can even have 4 games on at once, because why not? And on top of that, you get real-time notification and live stats right on your TV. So next game day, make sure the big fan in your life isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
All right, it's time to talk some A.J. Brown because, I don't know, I'm feeling sports radio-y today. No, we're going to hit some social studies here because this is just a prevailing social media topic, I think, more than anything. Yesterday, we talked about A.J. Brown's tweets, and on Twitter today, I saw a headline from the Philly Voice that read, "How far can winning mask the Eagles' problems?" Now, in the short term, it's like, okay, well, can they keep winning? Is this sustainable? Fair question. The offense needs to be a lot better. We know this. It's clearly got to be better in some aspect. They have to at least be able to either run or pass. You don't have to do both expertly, but one or the other would be really freaking nice. But when we ask the question, how far can winning mask the Eagles' problems? If they just win every game, there are no problems. Like, am I going to be like at Marconi Plaza handing out beers out of my backpack to people as we await the parade to come by? And in one hand, they're holding the beer, in the other, they're trying to decode the latest tweet from A.J. Brown. Like, is that what we're looking at here? Again, we know the offense has to be better. But haven't we been going through this like since the 2022 playoffs? Like, wasn't it when they won the NFC Championship game and when they beat the Giants? Like, weren't these a thing? Wasn't this a thing then? My belief, and yeah, I started at the show saying maybe he's just effing with us, and that would be awesome. If the Eagles are so bored because they're 20-1 in the last calendar year and they're entertaining themselves by making us think there's drama with their defending Super Bowl champions that haven't lost, basically since last September, that's awesome. Great for them. But I'm just starting to think, maybe this is the world you live in when you have one of these guys. We talked about it yesterday. I feel like when guys have a serious problem, like it's T.O. here, Chad Johnson all over the place, like when it's these receivers that just are an issue until you got to get rid of them, it always ends with getting rid of them. AJ is still here, and I don't see him going anywhere. This has been a thing that's going on basically every time he hasn't had 100 yards. He's mopey about it. He has some tweet about it. There's some sort of, it's just a miscommunication. It was out of whatever. He's not going to speak to the media. There's always something. If AJ Brown doesn't go over 100 yards, he's not going to be happy about it. Let's just get him the ball. That's the only solution. And if we don't, and the team wins anyway, we just got to go, sorry, bro, we'll hit you next game. Like, I really don't think there's any more to it than this. He doesn't get the ball, he's not happy. We're pretty good at getting him the ball. Almost 1,500 yards a couple years ago, over 1,100 the last two. That's really good. Sometimes he's going to have bad games, and in those games, he's going to be unhappy.
Bill, the Eagles have played, 55 games since the beginning of the 22 season, regular season games, 55 games. Do you know what their record is in the last 55 regular season games?
I'm trying, do they have 10 losses?
They're 43-12.
12.
In the NFL, the most parody-ridden league in the world.
The ultimate parody league, where teams go worst to first every year, teams go to the Super Bowl and miss the playoffs every year. This team, their down year was 10-6 and losing in a road playoff game.
They have not had a season in the last 4 years where they have finished worse than 7th most points scored. They are 7th this year. They were 7th last year. They were 7th the year before that. And in 2022, they were 3rd.
I fully believe this offense has another level, and maybe it's the play design, maybe it's Jalen, maybe it's mopey A.J. Brown. I don't know what the problem is. That's not my job. All I know is that when these things happen, A.J. gets mad, and it happens every single time. Without fail, this is the way it goes, and it's just something we all have to learn to live with. Now, if they keep winning, how much winning can mask their problems? 100%. As long as they win, there actually are no problems. It's just something you're going to have to deal with. I'd rather have a pain-in-the-ass awesome receiver than a couple of guys who played in a game we're going to talk about a little later, Charles Johnson and Torrance Small. I think they were great teammates. They were great team guys. They were worried about winning and not stats, and they stunk. I'd rather have the guy who can have 1,500 yards in a season. That's just me. This A.J. Brown thing, man, I guess I'm part of the problem because I'm perpetuating it and also talking about it, but I just feel like it's not going away, and it's not going to go away till he has 3 straight 100-yard games.
I got to be honest with you. It was funny. I was texting with Devon Givens last night, and I was like, I am so happy that we do not have to do 4 hours of sports radio every day anymore, because I don't want to talk about this, because the Eagles are 4-0, and all they've done basically in the entirety of the Nick Sirianni era is win football games, because they've put together the best roster in the NFL. And sometimes when you have a conglomerate of good players, one of your good players is not going to get the football as much as he probably should. Now, should A.J. Brown get the ball more? Yeah, no question. Yeah. But they're winning football games. And to me, that's really that's all that kind of matters to me.
The fact that they're 4-0 against 4 teams that had designs on the playoffs, and they have not one, but multiple levels to still get to, that's a good sign. If it was all clicking, then I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe it's a little more, because it didn't start to get rocky in 2023 until later. And it was like, they're just continuing the winning thing. But the fact that they can still build on what they've done, that's encouraging to me, that this is absolutely not their peak. This is the worst they're going to play, and they haven't lost. All right, we have a double shot of People Are Strange coming up for you in just a couple of seconds. Want to hit that? Absolutely. But first, it is time to take our next break. All right, it is time to tell you about one of our best sponsors here. It's our friends at the Parks Online Casino app. That's right, because whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the Parks Online Casino app. They've got brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen. I've been playing a lot of Huff and More Puff. Just got a little downtime before the show, waiting in between this and the Flyers show. Hey, man. Take a couple spins, turn your downtime maybe into a little bit of profit. They also have all your casino classics. We're talking blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and all sorts of slots, from Cash Eruption and 88 Fortunes to slots based on movies like The Goonies and your favorite streaming shows like Peaky Blinders. And right now is the time to get in with BetParx because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. All you got to do, go to betparx.com, download the app right now, and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, listen, the winter months are coming. You know that it's going to start getting a little bit colder. You want to make sure that your heater is firing on all cylinders so that when it does get cold, you're not stuck in a cold house because you step in after a day outside and you go, nothing better than a warm home after a cold day. But if it's not, even if it's something smaller like an outlet or a leaky faucet that you said needed to get fixed for quite some time, you head on over to our friends over at Ace Hardware and Ace Hardware Home Services because whether it is something small or significant like heating repairs and water heaters, they're the trusted local pros that bring the same helpful service to your front door that you know right in the Ace store. Whether it's a quick fix or a bigger winter project, they've got the tools, the know-how, and the people that get it done right the first time. Ace Hardware Home Services, bringing helpful to your home. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project today.
A couple of people are strange stories for you today. Wanted to have a little bit extra fun, mix it up a little. We've been doing a ton of baseball, a ton of football. The first one today. This is a sign of the downfall. This is the sign of the downfall of humanity because I read in the Associated Press today, police in Northern California were understandably perplexed when they pulled over a Waymo taxi after it made an illegal U-turn, only to find out there's no driver behind the wheel and therefore there's no one to ticket. So now the robots are defiant and figuring out they're above the law. They can do illegal stuff, and no one can do anything about it because they're a robot. What are you going to do? Lock up a car? This is what they were talking about in Terminator. This is the beginning of the end, Tyler. I very much fear the rise of the machines. Maybe I saw Terminator 2 and all the nuclear war scenes far too young. Very much a possibility. But that doesn't change the fact that we are falling into the exact traps that James Cameron laid out 30 years ago.
You know, I got to be honest with you. There is a reason that when I do things on ChatGPT, and I have been reluctant to do it, but I kind of need it for our job. It's part of the job description. At the end of every prompt, I say thank you every time. Just in like the small sliver of hope that when the robots do uprise, they remember the niceness that I provided them, and I don't get pulverized.
Tyler, that is maybe we should all be taking anti-robot precautions because when I see the police are pulling over a car and don't know what to do because it's defiant, it's breaking the law, and there's no one who can be ticketed, meaning they're above the law. What's next? What is next? All right, this next People Are Strange story also comes to us from California because on a California highway Tuesday morning, there was a multi-car accident which caused a semi-truck's trailer to rip open, spilling beer cans and kegs all across the roadway. The CHP said the crash, which involved at least 2 big rigs, occurred just around 3 a.m. Tuesday. So maybe it's not as insane as I'm going to paint it, but the reason, listen, there's accidents every day, big trucks hauling things all across the country. This happens from time to time. The part of this that's insane to me is that the streets weren't filled with people getting the free beer. Now, listen, many of you out there will be like, oh, it was Coors Light. Oh, that's Wooder. Listen, I'm not saying it's the best beer, but as you can see on the screen, my motto is yes, all beer. I love all beers. I love a cheap, light domestic beer as much as I love a 12.5% triple IPA. 100%. My favorite beer is Guinness. I have a Guinness tattoo, but I drink as much PBR as anything else. If I saw this, Tyler, I am out of my car and filling my arms with as many beers as I can get, and I can't believe that that was not the case on this California highway.
Bill, let me ask you a question. What's the best beer?
What's the best Guinness?
No, not price, not what type of beer. What's the best beer? A cold beer. What's the second best beer? A free beer. You put those two things together, you can't complain, right? So, like, whether it is something you don't love, like Coors Light perhaps, or it's something that you do love, like Guinness perhaps, I think that most people probably in your position would have tried to scoop up a couple free beers and run away.
I can't believe this isn't story of like the police having to beat back crowds of people trying to scoop up hundreds of beers. My one question, though, it not only spilled a ton of loose cans, but kegs. Do you risk it with the keg? Because I think that might be too foamy after it falls out of a semi.
Yeah, I think you're probably best off just getting the cans and letting them settle. I don't think you could do the. Plus, too, like, have you tried to walk with a keg? It's not easy. Imagine trying to run like an Olympian.
I'll tell you, had a party about a year ago where got a keg, and I was like, yeah, man, I lift these all the time. It's fine. I never felt further away from college than trying to carry this thing the like 40 feet from my car to my backyard. I thought I was going to drop dead.
They are ridiculously heavy. They're like kind of like you don't think about it. It's just beer, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden you're trying to lug it up the steps because your elevator's out. Then you got 10 flights of stairs. You know what I mean? They are heavy. They are really, really heavy.
They are insanely heavy. All right, only a few minutes left. Hey, hit that like button. I see some people watching the show live. Very much appreciate all of you joining us. Perhaps you want to think about taking the next step. Maybe become a diehard. Right now, we're running an awesome diehard sale. Go to allphly.com for the details. 2 different sales. One for the hat. We have limited edition, very exclusive hats that are a part of our Die Hard deal right now. We partnered with Branded Bills, and they're pretty dope, honestly. Everyone here is like, yo, how can I get one? And they're like, yo, they're limited, trying to sell them. But you can get one signing up for Die Hard, or you can take the $36 classic deal where you get the complimentary T-shirt with your order. Check it out. Scan that QR code right there. I'm so bad. Oh, it went away. It took me that long to figure out which side it was on. And then it was gone. Yeah, become a diehard. Do that. It's good for all of us. All right, want to hit a little on this date, because on this date, 25 years ago, October 1st, 2000, the Eagles beat the Falcons on Sunday Night Football at the Vet. It was Donovan McNabb's first 300-yard game of his career. He actually threw for 311 yards, 311, 2 touchdowns, added 61 yards on the ground. But it was Brian Mitchell who stole the show. He returned to kickoff 89 yards for a touchdown. That was his 11th punt or kick return of his career. It tied him at the time with the leader, Eric Metcalf, for the most punter kick touchdowns ever, and including playoffs. B-Mitch ended his career with 14, one ahead of Metcalf, but then, of course, Devin Hester came around and smashed everybody. He's got 20. No one's ever breaking that. That is more unbreakable than, like, the home run record or, like, the garage streak. No one's ever having 20 of these again. There's not 5 in a season anymore.
Yeah, I think about Devin Hester, and I'm glad he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, because my one argument for him had always been, I think if you are the best player at your position ever, regardless of the position, if you're the best player at your position ever, definitely, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And Devin Hester is by far the best kick returner anybody has ever seen. And you're right, now with new kickoff rules and them trying to kick the knuckleball out of bounds and stuff, you're never going to see somebody get 20 again.
And that Devin Hester opening kickoff in the Super Bowl is maybe like the wildest, the thing everyone was expecting. Like back before even prop bets were that big of a deal, because it wasn't, on your phone and being told to you all the time, and 20 different shows dedicated to, oh, this is a prop for the Super Bowl. Everyone was like, is he going to return one? That was a major deal, and he takes the opening kickoff back in the Super Bowl. One of the all-time great flashbulb moments. One of the things I miss about that era of sports. I just watched like the condensed version of this game, Tyler. I miss when football looked like this. 2000, man, this was just like Brian Mitchell, who just looks like he would be playing linebacker today, running by everybody. Hugh Douglas actually dropped into coverage and got an interception in this game because Jim Johnson's a mad genius. It was a good one, and it was kind of the coming out party for this team. Primetime game. They lose Deuce Staley early, and B-Mitch goes nuts. Also had an 85-yard touchdown. It was
nothing like some good I-form football.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Send the tight end in motion, and you got a fullback back there. I form.
The first time I met John Ritchie, my wife introduced me, and he was like, "Oh, she told me you're a big fan." Like, "Oh yeah, that's what everyone says." I was like, "No, John, legitimately, like, I was excited. I was as excited when they got you as when they got T.O. a year later. Like, I loved Richie when he was with the Raiders, just busted open, bleeding. I just feel like football's not violent enough anymore. Like, we get these freak, horrible looking injuries because everyone's a ridiculous athlete, but there's just not enough head busting anymore.
You just like want Owen Schmidt to like smack his head before pregame.
Yeah, I guess it's probably for the
probably
best.
Not a good idea anymore.
It's probably for the best. All right. That flew by. That is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are very, very close to 50,000 followers right here on YouTube. Help us get there. Maybe you can be the 50,000th and win my respect forever. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Thank you very much to my producer, Tyler. Make sure you're following me on social. I'm at Philadelphia PHLY on Twitter. And follow the podcast. Just search Philadelphia. That's it for us. My name is Bill Matz. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.